Hey, everybody. How are you doing? It is Sunday night at 7 p.m., so it's time for FMTV. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. And I do mean joining me, because the king, as Martha has called him, as 111 Gold has called him, has left the building. So Ed is stuck in Ocala tonight with all the old people. And so it's just you and me tonight. And we got a lot to talk about, though. So I keep all the chats. It's going to be very much a chat-heavy conversation tonight. I'm going to be relying a lot on you guys, since I don't have my buddy Ed to talk to. But if you guys want to, call in, you can also leave a voicemail as well. And let me see, where can I find a little screen where we promote the voicemail? Well, here it is. It's above my head, but 786-474-4435 is the voicemail. So if you want to leave a voicemail, give me a call, and we'll put it on, give us something to talk about tonight. But we got a lot to talk about. But first, before we get into everything, let's first say a big thank you to our sponsors. Big thanks to Load. Come on, Load. Caneswear. And Caneswear is the place to go for all your Inter Miami gear. If you want to get the best prices in town and support a local business, this is the place to go. If you're in Broward County, anywhere near Davie, stop by. And if you're not, if you're a little bit further away, go to the website, caneswear.com. All kinds of great prices there for all your Inter Miami gear. Also, let's say a thank you to Vargas Law Group. He is our lawyer for anything immigration. Anybody that calls and says they listen to FMTV or watch FMTV, you're going to get a free consultation. And we're going to extend this one more week. So anybody that has a consultation, you want to give him a call, you're going to be entered into for a chance to win a authentic Inter Miami jersey. So you call in with a consultation, a immigration question. We're going to put your name in a hat, and we're going to pick one person to win the jersey. So go give Federico some love and get your questions answered. A lot of us have immigration questions. So there you go. Let's say hello to all you guys in the chat. Again, if you're just joining us, I am flying solo today. So let's say hi to a couple of guys that were in here super early. 6:30 we had Jazz Fusion in here. Then One Goal is in here. She's also supporting the Miami Heat. Apparently they're playing. I did not know. I am not a big basketball fan. There was a couple other people that were even in here earlier, but it seems like once you go live, it wipes those things out. Judge Dredd is in here, and he's enjoying his English Premier League, it looks like. And I've been getting a chance to watch a little bit more of the Premier League because I have that Peacock. If you're a Comcast customer, they're giving Peacock away for free. So I got it. I didn't have to pay for it just because I have Comcast internet. I don't have cable, but I got the Comcast internet. And due to that, I get Peacock for free. So I'm getting to watch some Premier League games I normally wouldn't have watched. I saw some of the Chelsea game, saw some of the Newcastle United game, saw some of a few. Didn't see any one complete, but saw several. Alex Z is here as well. And who else we've got in here? Jet Pancake is in here. And we also have Gerardo Guerrero. So what's up, Gerardo? So, guys, lots going on with Inter Miami. Obviously, we're not doing so well, right? But I wanted to wear a shirt today of a team that's not doing so well either, but at least they won their last game, and they're playing tonight. So, if at 7:30, if right after this show or whatever, go over on ESPN Plus and watch Miami FC play Atlanta United 2. So, Miami United came back from they were down. They played a couple days ago. They were playing Charleston Battery. They were down a couple goals at halftime. They scored 4 goals in the second half. At one point they were down 3-1. A lot of fun. They are playing at Ricardo Silva Stadium in Miami, and they're playing again tonight at Ricardo Silva Stadium. So give Miami FC a little love. You know what Miami FC did? Going off topic, but this makes me think of it. Miami FC did something smart. You know, they made a deal online. Now they sent me the wrong shirt, but they have a deal online where it's like it was like $30, I think it was, and you got the authentic jersey, you got a mug, you got some sort of a scarf or some sort of bandana or something like that, and a wristband, I think it was. So I got that to support them. Now they sent me the wrong shirt, but I figured I'd wear it one time for the show and then send it back to them. You know, just don't tell them. I don't think they're watching. But they sent me the wrong stuff, and it's the wrong size too. So it's a little big on me. But support Miami FC. It was a good deal. They're not sponsoring anything, but you know, you get the jersey by itself is somewhere like $60 or $80, but you can get it in this package for a lot less. So, all right. So it seems like keep the shirt, Pete looks dope. While this shirt looks good, their home shirt I think looks better. You know, it's the more the teal or aqua color with the orange sleeves. I think that one looks a little bit better. So I want to send this one back and get the home shirt. This is the away shirt, but this is a cool shirt too. But it's a little big. But thanks for that. All right, so there may be a few more pauses today as I go and looking through your chats, but let's start off with this. A couple things. When I was creating the title of this video, I was thinking of a couple things. I was thinking of naming it "Just Relax. It'll Be Okay." That was the title I was going to name it until I saw that Pizarro was going away, and because I've seen so many comments online from people just losing their mind. Right? Everybody wants to fire the coach. Everybody wants to, says Pizarro's not good enough. People want to replace the goalkeeper. And look, I'm okay. And some people are saying, screw this team. I'm out. You know, they don't want to support Inter Miami because it's not as good as they maybe thought it was going. Maybe they feel like they were sold a bill of goods. You know, Inter Miami did come in a little bit of bravado, kind of going around saying, we're going to introduce football to America. You know, you guys are playing soccer, we're going to introduce football to you. Well, maybe that bravado is biting them in the ass, but I've seen so many comments online of people jumping ship or just losing their damn mind. And I just want to say relax. Like, it's okay to be somewhat critical. I am. I mean, at times there, I've critiqued and I've been critical of Matuidi, and I still am. I think he needs to get a lot more involved. This is what I was afraid of in the beginning is if Inter Miami didn't come out guns blazing, the South Florida soccer fans who are very finicky would bail. And hopefully, well, not too many will, hopefully, but I mean, I've seen the comments, right? So we're all seeing the comments online of people just kind of losing their mind of frustration. Now, get frustrated, but still support your team. You know, win, lose, or draw, support your team. You know, you could be critical and all that, but be there and support your team. And I'll get to some of the comments in just a second. But I had the chance this week to upgrade my season tickets. So I moved over one section for relatively the same amount of money, slightly more, not much. And I did that so that, a couple buddies might be like Uncle Ed could sit close to me because he was moving his seats as well. So he renewed his seats, moved a little bit closer to where I'm going to be so we can all kind of hang out. One thing I did notice, though, and this is good news for even if people are bailing on the Inter Miami, stadium's still packed. I'd say, 3/4 is sold out? Something like that. It looked like, because I poked around a lot to see what seats were available all through a bunch of sections. And, there's pockets of areas where there's seats. There's sections in a row where it might be 7 or 8 seats that are now available. Probably one person may have had those and they bailed, either because of financial situations or they just given up on the team. Don't know. But stadium is still well sold. So that's good news. So And then we watch the game, and of course it doesn't go as planned. Although, we could debate a lot of, and I know Judge Dredd, the law is in here, complaining about VAR, but if you look at the call, it was the right call. You just, I guess, could complain that you don't want VAR in the sport, but then when VAR's in your favor, you're happy it's there, right? So it didn't go as well as we expected, but then we got hit with a little bit harder news, right? And we knew Pizarro had gotten called up to the Mexican national team. And I'm going to get to a voicemail in just a second. Peter, hang on a second. Peter, you should have moved to the other side. Stay out of the sun. I don't know. It just might be my lighting. Maybe my lighting's off. Oh, you mean in the stadium? I am out of the sun. I'm under the cover. I'm on the east. So the sun will be facing me. I know what you mean now. I'm on the east side. I don't know. The west side's a little more expensive. East side's a little more affordable. It's in my price range. But I'm under cover, so I'll get some shade. And I'm a little bit high up. That won't be too bad. It'll be all right. But, there was a lot of conversation about Pizarro getting called up into the national team. And I was reading several articles where Diego Alonso was talking about he was going to do everything he could to keep him here. And he'd had conversations with Tata Martino, and he says, we're going to do everything legally to keep him here. And of course, FIFA has the right. You have to allow that. But there was talk about FIFA saying maybe you can, if it's a friendly, they're not required to go. Maybe at this time because of the situation we're currently in. But now we get notice that Pizarro is in fact going to be allowed to go to the national team. So it made me wonder: are we not fighting it because the season's kind of over, right? We could still get into the playoffs, but it's getting harder and harder every game we play. So, if have they given up? Have they just said, all right, we're really going to focus on next year and let him go? Why stop him from playing for his national team if we really don't have a real honest chance of making the playoffs? I'm wondering if that was part of it. So he'll be out apparently from around 4 to 5 games because once he's going to go play 2 games for Mexico, and then after that he's got to quarantine. So, all right, let's play a voicemail. Here we go.
Hey, Peter and Uncle Ed.
Nope, just me.
And Ricky Ricardo. It's Martika from One World, One Goal. Before we throw everybody under the bus, we really have to just look at this like it's, been one big preseason. Granted, they need to have depth on the team, so it's very normal for players to go and play for their national teams, and you're missing players. It's just the way it is. So we can't begrudge, Pizarro wanting to go play for Mexico or anyone. And I think it'll gel. We honestly should have signed everyone last November, including the big names. We should have marketed them. We should have hit the ground running in January. But let's be honest, this is a whole new venture. We're glad to have Jorge Mas on board. This is all new to him. He's only kind of following along what, his other co-owners are saying. And keep in mind, Beckham, as talented and brand Beckham as he is, he's never run a team either. So I think in hindsight, having no idea that we would be hit with this virus and not be able to put everything, in place in the community and do community service and have big events. And, it seems like everybody's kind of been in a holding pattern until we really open in Miami. And this is all just like a soft opening. But let's hope that next year they really ramp up and things are better and everyone can get together. And they really need to have depth in every position. They've got to have defenders that really can, read the game. And something like Robles now with an injury, you've got to have every single position covered. And let's hope they turn it around. Okay, love you guys. Love the show. Bye.
All right, good stuff. Thanks. One World, One Goal. A lot there, Keep the faith, everybody. Keep the faith. Family just arrived, so they're, sorry guys. The Robles incident. So now we know that he's broken his arm, and it's obvious he won't be in on Wednesday. They didn't say that in the article, but that he's going to miss the game. But it's obvious he's going to miss the game, and so we're really going to test this team now. We're really going to see if people have complained. I've seen many complaints about people saying Pizarro is not the DP we should have signed. Okay, well, let's see who's going to step up. Does Matuidi get a little more involved in the attack? I mean, I keep wondering, when Matuidi does get involved, his passes are so fast and so good, but he disappears so often. I see him just walk in the field. I mean, he's doing his best Valderrama impression at times, except, Valderrama made that key pass to score a goal, and Matuidi's not doing enough of that. So is this going to be his opportunity to step up? Robles is obviously going to be out. So who are we going to see there? Are we going to see McCarthy, who's got some USL experience and some MLS experience? I think he played with the Union and their USL team as well. Bethlehem Steel also played with Tampa Bay Rowdies a little bit. Or do you go young and play Drake Callender? I kind of like to see Drake Callender in there, because if we're going to say, and I don't know if the team is saying that, but if reality is that we're done for the season, let's play the young guys. Let's see what Drake Callender has in the goals, because if Robles plays with a fracture, then he really is Superman, right? But let's see what some of these young guys can do. Plus, LGP is going to be out because of yellow card accumulation. So, and then you still have Reyes is out. He's got an eye injury. He's not coming back. I mean, eventually he'll be back, but he's not going to be back in the next game. He's got an eye injury. He's still going to be out. So now you've got AJ De La Garza, who thank you. He got his first start. It's about time he got his first start. We interviewed him on one of our earlier shows. Go back and check that out. It was a good interview. And he didn't have the best game, but it was his first of the season. I know he was partially to blame for two of the goals, but he also got into the attack quite a bit, AJ did. So I think he's going to probably get some more playing time as well. And Jet Pancake says AJ actually didn't play too bad. I agree. It was unfortunate in two of those goals that he was kind of in there a little bit, but he didn't do too bad. We're going to get to see some of the depth of the team and see, who's going to step up. Does McCoon actually get to see some playing time as well? He's been called back from Fort Lauderdale, and so is he going to get some playing time as well? I would expect, since they put AJ in, I expect to see maybe AJ over him, but who knows? Jazz Fusion says, without Pez and with Win gone, there's nobody to run the game. And that's where I say Matuidi's got to step up. One of the things I like, though, is, and I know all of you guys saw this, was how Higuain was coaching on the field, how he's coaching Morgan on what to do and how to, right after he scores the goal, he's sitting there telling him, if you do this, I think you'll have more opportunities or something like that. I mean, I don't know exactly what he was saying. I don't know what all that means, but he was out there coaching the team. And Higuain, he hasn't scored yet, but he's looking really, really good. Thank you, One World, One Gold. Keep the faith. Missing Ed, but Peter can chat enough for the two. Yeah, let's be honest. When it's me and Ed, I talk more than he does anyways because I'm a big mouth. But I do like having somebody to sound things off on, and he gives me a break every once in a while. Jet Pancake says that Higuain is a big motivator, in my opinion. Yeah, so even if he doesn't get on the scoreboard a whole lot so far, he's been very, very active. And I think just his time will come. Gerard says Robles would stop at least one goal a game, rough times ahead. Yeah, who knows? I want to see some of these younger guys. I personally would rather see Drake Callender, at least for one game, instead of McCarthy. I mean, because I think reality's setting in. We're not making the playoffs. At least I don't think. I know there's probably by numbers we can, but I just don't think we're going to do it. But and so I'm curious because I know Jazz Fusion, you've been talking a lot in here about the VAR has kind of shafted us. In here, you said it a while ago. VAR shafted both Inter Miami and Arsenal more often than it has helped. Do you think they were wrong in that call? Do you think that? Do you want to watch it? Hey, let's watch that goal and see. I mean, was it the right call? So we're gonna share a screen and let's go. I mean, he's offsides there, right? I mean, you agree he's offside. Carranza. And man, did it start raining out of nowhere or what? It was crazy. That downpour. It was nothing and then it was everything. Yeah, and that was it. I'm sorry, Judge Shred. Yeah, I did make you watch it again. I'm sorry. And hopefully we don't get hit with a copyright claim on that. I don't know. We're playing around with some new software. So we're not sure what we can get. And Jet Pancake says, yes, it's the right call. So it hurts, but it was the right call. And like I said before, when it goes in your favor, you feel good about it, right? Don't you? But when it's not in, Jazz Fusion says it looks right. Yeah, I mean, I've watched it a bunch of times. It was the right call, and when it happened fast, I thought it was a goal just like everybody else did. I was celebrating, and One World, One Goal says, oh, and P.S., why do we let our guard down the minute we score and give up a goal? Heck, why do we let our guard down in the first 4 minutes of the game? What's up with that? I mean, we could play that goal too, but I don't want to. That one is really, really upsetting me. Hey, welcome, Walberth Arias. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Our defense falling asleep so early in the game. Here's something that's interesting, is that we can't play a complete game. If our defense plays well, our offense is off. We can't score a goal. And a night that Lewis Morgan lights it up and proves that he is the MVP of this team for this year, clearly, without a doubt, he would be the MVP. We just need more Lewis Morgans out there. Hey, does he have any brothers or anything? We could use more of him. Can we clone him? I mean, I'm down with that. But the attack was much better this game, but the defense is off. They fall asleep. They get caught, and they just can't play a complete game. And where does that come from? To me, that means preparation. And for those people that are asking for Diego Alonso's head, I mean, he's in charge of preparing them, and they're not prepared. It looks like they fall asleep. I don't know. The Jetpack is right. If Morgan keeps playing great often, he won't last in MLS much longer. Yeah, that is true. We are probably going to position ourselves, like Atlanta did in a selling team. That's what MLS is. And most leagues in the world are. What's funny is that MLS is kind of wants to be a selling league now. For years, Don Garber used to say, we want to be a destination. We don't want to be a selling league. Now he's finally come around and realizes if you're not at the top, you're a selling league. Unless you're the English Premier League or La Liga or something like that, you're a selling league. And so, we're going to sell our best players. And so if he does, if he lights it up, if he continues the way he's playing, he's going to get, Morgan's going to get sold. For sure. Judge Dredd finally coming around. Yeah, it looks right that the offsides call. Seeing it from a better angle, still don't like it, but our defense is shambolic. Give too many easy goals. Love Lewis, though. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know why, because, we thought we had a good defense. When we thought, LGP coming in was really going to shore it up and do a great job. And even while he's pretty rock solid, I mean, he has his struggles at times too, and does some reckless challenges, things like that. Figal in preseason, I got to see Figal up close in Tampa twice, and I thought, oh man, this guy's going to be a beast in MLS. And while he's pretty good, he's also part of the problem. I mean, the entire defensive line is, they just get caught. Okay, so this I don't buy. One more one goal says crazy rain. The new players must be sweating in the humidity. Got to get good conditioning for the team. I don't buy that. Not anymore. Not anymore. They've been playing here long enough. Even Matuidi, who hasn't been here that long, been here long enough, been practicing in this. If the other teams that come into South Florida, if a New York City comes in here and can if a Philadelphia comes in here, things like that, and can play better than we can, they're better conditioned in this humidity than we are. We practice in every day. Higuain is the only one that could maybe have an excuse. Everybody else has been practicing in this. Pellegrini, every time he plays, now he's only playing very mere minutes, so he looks fine. But anytime he plays, he looks spent. He's wilting in this humidity and heat. And but that's not an excuse anymore. These guys are practicing in this heat day in, day out. They've got to get acclimated to it. Are we not pushing them hard enough in practice? Again, that would fall on Alonso. Look, and I think a lot of this has to fall on Diego, because we're one of the highest spending teams in the league. I don't know where we rank. Maybe somebody in the chat knows where we rank on spending. But we've spent as much, if not more than, a lot of teams in the league. And we need better. You spend that much money, you expect results. So I think that falls on the coach and his staff. Having said all that, I'm not on board with firing him this year. You got to let him finish out the season. And I think you even have to give him the full off season. And then give him a quarter of the 2021 season. And if we're still looking the same, sack him. Sack him. That's what I'm saying. One more one goal is still saying we need conditioning, a complete game, better team unity, and chemistry. Yeah, I mean, maybe we do need conditioning, but like I said, they've been here long enough to be conditioned. Jet Pancake says, I think we need someone in defense who can understand the game well and has a lot of experience. Like who? Do we want to spend, I mean, we don't have any DPs left, but do we want to spend some TAM money and get a big name kind of player? Can we pull another Matuidi kind of deal? Somebody who you thought was going to be a DP, but then we get him as TAM? I don't know how much TAM money we have left, but we should have some. Judge Dredd saying we should be playing during the winter instead of the summer, but then again, snow would be a serious problem for the northern states. Yeah, still not an excuse. These guys practice in this weather, so not an excuse. And the argument of getting on the same calendar as the rest of the world, I mean, sorry, Judge, I mean, it's old. MLS is MLS, and they're going to do what they want, and I don't see that changing anytime in the future. And yeah, when we played, when I was a fan of the Fort Lauderdale Strikers and the old Miami FC, I remember a year where it was unseasonably cold late, like late up in the northern states. I think it was Minnesota was one of the teams still in the NASL at the time, or maybe USL, and maybe also Vancouver. I'm not sure, but they were playing like with an icy field, and they were not too happy at all. So, and they were still starting in like March or April, but it just was a late winter. And so it's not that's never. I don't think that's going to happen. It was interesting that NASL did try to do is the Apertura Clausura type of thing, to where it did push it a little bit, and then you took the month off of July, I think. Granted, that only lasted 1 or 2 years because NASL didn't last. And here again, I'm going to go back to another one world, one goal comment. It's embarrassing that the mid and defense vanish so much and clump up together. Let that sit there for a second. Yeah, that's part of the problem. Is sometimes the defender that scored, I mean, he's just strolled right through the midfield. Midfield didn't stop him. Again, where's Matuidi in this? I was looking. I don't know where to find this information, but I wanted to find. Maybe somebody knows, and you can help me out. But I was looking to see how many times did Matuidi touch the ball. I don't think it's nearly enough. I don't think it's nearly enough. I don't think he's involved enough. And there was times where the play is near him, and he's just kind of strolling. In one of those goals, he was strolling shortly behind it. He wasn't even really all that involved. But I mean, then when he does decide to get involved, or he just happens to be in the right place, he makes some great passes. Real quick one touches. Beautiful. Gets an assist here and there, right? But just not enough. So I agree with you. Jet Pancake agrees. Also, our midfield looks exposed at times, to which leads to other teams on the counterattack. Yeah, and which makes our defense look worse than maybe they really are. But undue pressure on the defense. All right, I haven't pre-read this, but let's go with Judge Dreads. In my relatively useless opinion, your opinions are never useless, Judge Dredd. I think if we make any moves, transfers, sales, firings, etc., it will happen off season, and I think it's good to wait for the end of the season. Continues, I really want to see Diego successful as a manager, and I think he's struggling with players that were sort of dropped on him. The roster we have now is not what he wanted, but it's what he's got. Yeah, I mean, they did wait a long time to get that coach. They waited way too long to get the coach. But coach what you got. You got to coach what you have. There was several articles, or not several. There was Franco Panizo, our buddy from SBIsoccer.com, wrote an article last week, I think it was, talking about what other players might we see get shipped out, like Lee Win, players that got dropped to the USL team, like Kiesewetter. Kiesewetter did play in yesterday's game where they Fort Lauderdale CF lost 3-0 to North Texas FC, and that was in Texas. But Kiesewetter came into in the 67th minute, so that's good. But there's players that are getting shipped out, sold, what have you, dropped. Argudo getting waived. What other players are potentially going to get dropped? And a lot of people are thinking maybe Trapp. I don't think we're going to drop Trapp. I think Trapp he's on the last year of his contract. His contract's probably not going to get renewed because he's probably one of the more expensive MLS players. MLS grown players, I'd say. Not necessarily MLS players, like obviously Higuain makes a lot more, but for those that are like born and raised in MLS, I think he's probably one of the higher paid because he's been in the league for a long time. He was a star in Columbus, but he's on the last year of his contract, and I think he'll stick around for this year, but I don't think they bring him back next year because he hasn't played enough. Obviously, Alonso hasn't thought enough of him to have him in too much. I mean, he played again. Uoa seems to be his choice. They've played together, but Uoa seems to be the choice if he has to pick one or the other. But then, there's several other players that you wonder, do they get shipped out? And I think at this point, especially with the injuries that we're now seeing and losing Pizarro for so long, I think we're probably, unless we get some crazy offer we can't refuse, we're probably going to hold on to all the players that we currently have. And then, tinker in the offseason. Think about this, is that if you think about most expansion teams, I don't know what the percentage is, but I think a good portion of the first-year clubs come into the second year with a vastly different roster. They keep a few pieces and then and you really change out a lot. And I think that's fairly normal because you've got more time to see what you need and see what you have and fill gaps and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's see who else is in the chat. One World, One Goal believes we could build on this, and Diego Alonso deserves to get a full team from the beginning. Yeah, I'd give him that. I would give him the offseason to be in McDonough's ear, telling McDonough what he wants, and give him the first quarter of 2021. And if he doesn't turn it around, see you later. I'm done. Now, I would think, look, I know Jorge Mas is getting frustrated with all this. So I've seen some messages from Jorge Mas, and he's not. He knows the team's, not good. So he sees it, and he wants to be a winner. He's not in this to just have a tax write-off. This guy is so excited to have a team. He wants to have a winner. Judge Dredd saying, I know as a manager he has to adapt, but honestly he had little input as to what players would come to Miami. Most managers at least have some sort of say in who comes in. Paul McDonough was clear from the very beginning. He was building this team, not the coach. And I've asked this before, so you guys have probably heard me say this before, but who is Paul McDonough? Paul McDonough built, or was a large part of building Orlando City's first season. He then did it again in Atlanta. Orlando City, not so good. Atlanta, hit a home run. So who is Paul McDonough? Is he more the Orlando guy or more the Atlanta guy? Is it he just got lucky with Atlanta? Like he just, picked a couple of right players and it just worked for him? Not sure. I'm leaning towards he's not as great as we thought. I like the guy. He's a great guy. Let me put it that way. I mean, he's awesome. But, thinking he was going to easily come in here and build another Atlanta, I think even he may have been a little too cocky. Because he even told me, when I spoke to him, he gave me a private tour of the stadium, of the training facility. We barely looked at the stadium, but more of the training facility. He said to me that, when I was asking for like a star player, a marquee player, and he said, if I give you if I give you an Atlanta, would you be happy? And of course I said yes. But he hasn't given us an Atlanta. So who is the real Paul McDonough? Did he have a better scouting staff in Atlanta than he does here in Miami? Because it comes down to a lot to those guys. But then again, at the end, he's making the pick. So all right, we're looking in the chats. One World, One Goal says, Fort Lauderdale looks very good, even though they lost yesterday. Was just unlucky in front of the goal, so our future is bright. Yeah, obviously I didn't watch that game. I think it was going on at the same time. I did watch a little bit of it after. They're in the middle of the table. I forgot exactly where they were in the standings. I had that up, but they're somewhere in the middle of the table. So not bad, but they're not lighting it up either. But not bad. Definitely have some promise there for maybe some potential future players. Andres Hoyes is saying, I feel like we could take advantage of the majority of MLS losing their stars to international duty. The results will be skewed over the next 5 games. Hope to get some points. Yeah, how many stars are leaving teams? Is it really going to benefit us? Because we're not just losing stars. I mean, we're not just losing Pizarro. Luckily, we're still keeping Matuidi and Higuain, but we've also lost Robles for who knows how long. They haven't said, but fracture. Lost Reyes. Eye problem. Don't know how long. This is a good point. One World, One Goal. Very active tonight, One World. I appreciate that. Giving me someone to talk to. Yes, speaking to Jet Pancake, they did promise the world, but that could be remedied if they go into the community and get to know these players. Hard just on TV. Yeah, that's something this team has not done, has done zero of, is community outreach. I don't know how much is it is, I guess it's, they did some community outreach when they passed out food. Right, Robles was the one player, I think he was the only player that was out there putting food in people's trunks. So that was definitely an awesome community outreach thing. Haven't done a ton of community outreach, which is difficult when you're trying to play inside bubbles. And even though they're traveling now, they're still somewhat trying to be bubbly, somewhat, and keeping everybody safe. So you don't necessarily want your players to go to these soccer camps, but it would be great. It would be really great if they got them out into the community more right now. I do say it is tough right now with COVID to get them out into the community, but that would definitely be great for the brand. Still, as always, I say win, lose, or tie. Enter Miami till I die. Exactly. We could sit here and complain, and because that's what fans do. We want a great team. We want to win all the time. We want what the owners promised us. But even if we get a crappy team for years and years and years and years, I'm still going to be at the games, and hopefully you will be too. And you can't stop that. I mean, as soon as they allow fans into the Miami FC games, I will be there. If there's Miami United games, I'll be there. Just want to see soccer in South Florida. So happy we have a team. And that kind of goes back a little bit to what I was saying in the beginning, is seeing some people jumping ship. The problem is in South Florida is I think a lot of the fans that we have supporting Inter Miami were not previously MLS fans. They weren't knowledgeable of the league. Some, yes. But I think a good portion of them were new to MLS. And these are fans that supported their club team from, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, what have you. And they can watch them on TV. And so they've got all these high expectations. Or maybe they're fans of Arsenal. Or Manchester United. It seems like every American is a fan of Manchester United. Where are they at? They're not playing so good, are they? And so these people go in with these high expectations, these unrealistic expectations. Now, of course, the ownership group didn't help when they kind of sold us this whole, we're going to teach the world football, and we're going to be a global brand, but I think some of them, some potentially could bail out because they're not necessarily American sports fans or American soccer fans, football fans, American football fans, whatever you want to call it. I get sometimes on the chats, I get chastised for calling it soccer. I mean, the channel's called football. I mean, Ed named it, but Soccer, football, call it whatever you want. I don't care. Yeah, Jet Pancake, I think you are right. It looks like we have a bumpy road ahead of us. But as bumpy as this road is, how excited are we that we actually have a team to talk about? You know, it's so much fun to be able to have this club to sit here and complain about, to cheer about. Yeah, I mean, it's funny is I've watched soccer for years at home, right? Sitting on the couch, watching games all the time, whatever. My daughter will see me watching games, and might see me, cheer a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. But it's a whole new level when it's like Inter Miami. It's your MLS team. Like even when it was the Strikers, they were my team, and I would cheer for them when they were on TV from home. But it was maybe a little bit. I don't know. It's just everything's a little more amped up because it's MLS. It's the top level in this country. So I'm yelling and screaming at the TV, jumping up, spilling things, what have you. Family, daughter, looking at me a little strange, wondering if I'm okay. I'm not, I'm getting old, but I'm not ready for a heart attack, not yet. One World, One Goal says, I think Paul is handcuffed by the constraints of the league, ownership, ideas, and now the virus. Yeah, but every team is handcuffed the same way. Nashville has the same pair of handcuffs as we do. First-year club, constraints of the league. They've got owners that have ideas. They've got a virus. Heck, they weren't even allowed to play in the MLS's back tournament. Playing a lot better than we are. Can't have any excuses. And these, just no excuses. They're just not good enough. But the weird thing is for me at least, is trying to put my finger on what it is that they're not good enough about, Because for the longest time I was thinking, okay, we're decent in defense. Not the best, but we're decent. All we need is a finisher. That's what we all said. All we need is a finisher. We need Cavani. Now he's, from what I read, is at Manchester United, and he's just signing there. But we need our number 9. We need our top scorer. Okay, we got him. Now it's a defense. It's just you're just plugging holes, I guess, and you plug one hole and a new league starts. It's just hard it's hard to say that we don't have talent because individually we do have talent. Pizarro, I think, is a great player. I mean, that guy hustles out there and he's creative. He does a great job. People that are saying he's not the right DP, I like him. Matuidi, I have problems with. Got talent. I think Figal is talented. Reyes is talented. He's young, but he makes some young mistakes. He's talented. And yet we're still losing, So I don't know. We're just not good enough. We're just not good enough. And I agree with you. One World, One Goal. We love and miss Ed. Ed will be back next week. Hopefully he will be back for his Spanish show and also for next week. Actually, next week I may not be available. I don't know. I am going to be up in Orlando next week. I got to see some family up there and do a little Disney next week. But I might be able to do the show next Sunday because I'm going to be with family on Sunday night. So I might be able to sneak away for an hour and do the show. But Ed will be back. I'm not sure if I will be, but Ed will definitely be back next week. Are you doing this in a cave? No, but this room doesn't have much furniture in it, and it's just tile, and I need to put down a little carpet to help with the echoing. I know. I'm sorry, guys. Still, kind of getting settled in my house. It's taking forever, but I've got my office set up now. Just need some sound dampening things in here. No, Alfredo Polar. I am not going to support Orlando City. I've not given up on Inter Miami. But I am going to go support Mickey Mouse. And I also have family that live up there. So we're going to go support that. And one of my nephews up there has a birthday. So next week, next Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I'll be up in Orlando. But then I'll be back. All right, guys. What else? Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Now's your chance to throw in a couple talks. Judge Dredd says, Mickey Mouse, I smell a rat. I'll be up near you, Judge Dredd. I'll be up near you. I'll be in Orlando. I was trying to think if I'm going to be in Kissimmee or Orlando. No, it's Orlando. It's near the airport. I'll be somewhere near the airport. All right, guys. I think let's wrap it up. It's been a great show. It's been a lot of fun. I've rambled a lot, and I appreciate you sticking in and hanging out with me. Tonight, if you didn't know, we were also live on Facebook. However, I don't see any Facebook chats. So last week we had some. So what we've been doing is, since I'm trying out this new software, which I'm not sure if I like, it's okay. Yes, I know where Kissimmee is. Kissimmee is 20 minutes away, though. I know where Kissimmee is. I'm very familiar with the area. I was only thinking about it because the cousin that I'm going to be staying with used to live in Kissimmee, but then they moved to another house, which is now in Orlando. That's why I was wondering where I was going to be. But anyways, we've been doing this show on. There we go. We got one person watching on Facebook. Thank you, Christopher Harris. Video looking good on Facebook. Thank you. So we've been broadcasting on both for the last 2 shows, and I think we'll probably continue it. So just trying to get more people to notice the show and get more involvement, and you can chat. What's cool is you can chat from Facebook or from YouTube. Jazz Fusion. Will they win again this year? I sure hope so. I sure hope so. I sure hope they will win again. And let me see what all right. Anyways, we're wrapping this up. We were wrapping this up. I don't want to just drag it on for the heck of it. Let's say a big thank you to Caneswear. Go to Caneswear and buy your Inter Miami gear. You know, as it's starting to cool off, you know what I need? I need that pink warm-up, long sleeve warm-up that the players wear. You know, it's like a 3/4 zip, I think it is. I need one of those. And so I'm going to go to Caneswear and probably go pick one of those up as it starts getting cooler. You should too. You should go to Caneswear, go to caneswear.com and pick it up. Also, remember, we do have a giveaway. If you have any immigration questions and you want to you're going to want to give Vargas Law a call. So go to vargaslaw.com, mention Futbol Miami TV, and you will be entered into a drawing for a chance to win an authentic Inter Miami jersey. So Jet Pancake says, thanks for the show. Thank you, Jet Pancake, for hanging out and being with me tonight. All right, everybody, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week.